Alright, in this video I'm going to introduce you to spreadsheets. Accountants love spreadsheets because they need to keep track of so many numbers. And spreadsheets will do many repetitive calculations for you. So if you're good at spreadsheets, you really don't need to use a calculator that much. A spreadsheet is an electronic file that contains a grid of columns and rows. And the information in those columns and rows should be related data. Now, the two most popular spreadsheet programs are Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets. I personally like to use Microsoft Excel, and I can pull that up. I just happen to have that on this computer. This is what Excel looks like, and it's got columns and rows, and just like Google Sheets. It does have some different things. I like Microsoft Excel. It's smoother, it's faster, it's got a few extra features, but you got to pay for it. So most people usually use Google Sheets because it's free and it's online. You don't have to install any software. All of your files are in the cloud, so you don't have to worry about, oh, my files are on my computer at home, I can't get to that file. No, it's in your Google account. You can access it from anywhere that you have an internet connection. Also, like most Google products, it's easier to work with your team. Everybody can be logged in and working on the same document at the same time. So that's kind of cool. You can't use Excel on a Chromebook either, which is another reason why Google Sheets is so popular. When you open a spreadsheet, this one is already open, but if you go back to the main Google Sheets page, and the address for the Google Sheets page, by the way, is docs.google.com/spreadsheets. And you can see all of your recently used spreadsheets here. You can also see any spreadsheets that people have shared with you. But you might have to change this setting here. This is all the spreadsheets that I created. If I want to see spreadsheets that other people made but they're sharing with me, then I have to change this to owned by anyone. And that shows me some other people's sheets. If I want to start a brand new spreadsheet, then I can click blank, obviously. But usually I don't like to have this template gallery up here, so I usually hide this. Now you can still create a new spreadsheet if you come down here and click on this pencil button. And that'll create a new spreadsheet for you. First thing you want to do is name that. Some spreadsheet. Now, when you do your assignment today, you're going to have a spreadsheet named NinjaTurtlesRoster. But I want you to change that to NinjaTurtlesRoster. You guys are already familiar with those characters and their preferences, so I think it will be easier to use something familiar. Spreadsheets, remember, are for keeping track of information. Each one of these little boxes is called a cell. And just like how every house on your street has an address, every cell has an address too. The address of this cell is A1. The address of this cell, oops, let's see, let me type that in there, A1. The address of this cell is B1. The address of this cell is C1. The address of this cell is A2. And the address of this cell is B2. C2, A3, B3, C3. I'm sure you get the idea. All of the cells in this column here are all going to start with A. All of the cells in this column are all going to start with B. All of the cells in this row are going to be number 1. All of the cells in this row are going to be number 2. And all of the cells in this row are going to be number 3. These addresses are going to become important when we start asking the spreadsheet to do calculations for us later. Today we're not doing calculations. I just want you to make a simple roster. No math, just a roster. Poof. Magic instructions appeared. Alright, so use the information in this little graphic to make your table. First of all, we want to create headings for each of the pieces of information that we're going to list. So we need, first of all, the names of the turtles. And I'm pressing Tab to move right when I'm done in a cell. What else we need? We need their names. We need their color. Tab key. We need their weapon. Tab key. And we need their pizza. And then under here we're going to put their names. Leonardo. Now if I want to go down, instead of pressing the Tab key, press the Enter or Return key. Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello. And then Leonardo is blue, Raph is red, Michelangelo is orange, and Donatello is purple. Weapon, katana swords. Raphael is shuriken. Michelangelo is nunchucks. Donatello is bow staff. Pizza, Leonardo likes onions and mushrooms. Raph likes sausage and garlic. Michelangelo likes pepperoni and pineapple. And Donatello likes chicken and mushrooms. Cool. Now you see that this column isn't really wide enough. We've got some text in here that's too wide. One thing we can do is we can move our cursor right here between D and E until it turns into that double-headed arrow. And then we left click and hold, and then we drag and we let go. And that'll make our column wider. We can also do that with our rows. But we don't want to do that. Yet, anyways. Cool, so there's our little table, our little information. Now you don't need to use a spreadsheet for this. You could make a table in Microsoft Word. So for this, what we did today, it's not really necessary to do it in a spreadsheet. But it's good practice for working in the little cells. Now we can make it a lot prettier by highlighting these headings and centering these. And let's make them bold. Now this is all well and good when we have a short table, but sometimes we have a really long table that goes way down into rows, into the thousands. And sometimes when you scroll down and you're looking at information way at the bottom, you forget which column is which. So what I'd like you to do in this assignment is select the whole row number 1, and then go to View and freeze one row. And what that's going to do is, if you're looking at all this information down here and you want to scroll down, guess what? These headers that you wrote, they're always going to be there helping you to remember which column is what type of information. Alright. And there's one other thing we can do just to practice. This doesn't really look like a table. What we could do is we could left click and hold and highlight all of this stuff, and we could put a little border on it. There's a outside border only. Make it look like that. You could do something like this where it just makes every single line bold. Oops. You have to highlight it or if you're going to change the borders. And then now it looks a little bit more like a table. And why that might be important is when you go to print this, these gray lines are probably not going to print. So if you're going to print it and you don't just want this text floating in the middle of nowhere, you probably want to draw those borders, make them nice and bold. Okay, that's it.